So let's go over our ingredients for our Pozole Verde. Now, we're gonna start off with pork. When it comes to pozole, I've tried chicken, I've done pozole red and the green version with chicken. Usually they make the green version with chicken. To me personally, I just feel that pork has such more flavor than the chicken. And it's just like second to none. You can tell a huge difference on, even if you use like chicken thigh, it just does not have that flavor that pork gives. So I love doing pozole with pork. And this is a 5-pound shoulder roast. This does have the bone in it. I did trim it up a little bit. Sometimes if they don't trim these fat caps, they are a little thick, so we don't want this too fatty, but you're gonna have some fat content in there. And yeah, pork is the way to go. Depending on how much meat I yield from this pork is how many cans of hominy I'm gonna be putting in. Now these vary in different sizes. Some brands have 28 ounces, this one's 30. If you just get whatever hominy you can, there's a Mexican style and then there's this white style. I purchased 3 of these cans, but if this doesn't yield enough meat for the 3rd can, I'll just be using 2. So it just really depends on meat to hominy ratio. My kids actually like extra hominy, so that's why I went ahead and got a 3rd can, just in case there might be enough meat to be able to yield from this pork roast where I can add the 3rd can and it wouldn't be overwhelming. And then we're gonna need some tomatillos. This is about a little over a half a pound. Probably closer to the 1 pound size, so you're gonna need about 1 pound of tomatillos. You're gonna need a poblano. You can add serranos, but right now we're at the end of the summer and peppers are usually really spicy at the end of the summer. When they're harvested in the summer, those tend to be a lot hotter than, say, if they were to harvest them in the winter. I did a Mexican cornbread and one of those peppers, it was an Anaheim pepper. Usually Anaheim peppers aren't that hot, and man, that really spiced up things. But I'm gonna just be adding in 1 poblano because I am gonna be serving this to my kids, so I don't want this too spicy because I want them to eat it. You could substitute this for bell pepper if you feel it's gonna be too spicy for you. All we're adding this for is just a pepper flavor. I'm not really looking to get any spice out of this. I'm actually gonna be removing the seeds from this and the veins, so that way it's just the pepper. We're gonna need a half of a bunch of cilantro, 1 lime or lemon. I tend to go a little heavy on the garlic, but these are 5 small garlic cloves. If you have 2 big ones, you can use 2. But yeah, these vary in sizes, so go by your garlic taste. And then we're also gonna need 2 teaspoons of oregano. Since we're adding in a whole lot of stuff, we got 5 pounds of pork here, and then probably a couple pounds of hominy. So I'm gonna be just starting off slowly with 3 teaspoons of kosher salt. Now, I'm only gonna put this in the salsa in the beginning just to, get it cooking with a little bit of sodium. And then at the end, I'm gonna check to taste. That right there, you can check to finalize the taste and you're good to go. All right, so we got a pot filled with water. We also have our tomatillos in there and the poblano chili. Now we're gonna go ahead and turn on our heat source. And we're gonna go ahead and raise the temperature on this to about medium high, and we're gonna bring this to a boil. All right, so now that we got it boiling, we're gonna let that cook for about 10 to 15 minutes, just until those tomatillos, they soften up. They get real mushy, so you don't wanna overcook these. So once your tomatillos are nice and tender, we're gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. We're gonna let it cool down. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take our blender, and we're gonna take a little screen and pull out our tomatillos and our poblano pepper. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, we're gonna be adding in half of an onion. Now just add in our cilantro, garlic cloves, our oregano. Now go ahead and squeeze in some lime. Finish it off with your salt. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of juice to this. Just about there, so we can blend everything together. All right, so we're gonna pulse this and mix this well. All right, let's go ahead and check the consistency. You want this to kind of be like salsa. It's gonna be a runny, like a loose, runny salsa is what this is. So we'll make sure that you got everything blended up. Yeah, it feels like everything's nice and solidified. So let's go ahead and give this a taste. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, this is gonna be a really good pozole. Now into our Instant Pot, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of that salsa verde that we just made up. just to kind of coat the bottom. Now to kind of protect the pork, I'm gonna put the fat cap on the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and place in our pork. Now we're just gonna go ahead and add in our salsa verde. Now we're gonna initially cook our pork in the salsa verde, but we're gonna be adding in some chicken broth later on. So now we're gonna go ahead and place our lid on the Instant Pot, and we're gonna set it to seal. You wanna make sure that it's on the side where it says sealing. We're gonna be pressurizing this. So we have a 5-pound pork roast, and when I do pressure cook, I usually do about 25 to 30 minutes per pound. So we're gonna go ahead and set to pressure cook. I want it on more with the higher setting. If you're on less, just keep pressing it and it'll switch through the different modes. So we're gonna go to more, and so 5 pounds, we're probably gonna set this to about 2.5 hours. All right, so it's set to 2.5 hours. It's gonna start heating up. There is a heat up time, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 30 minutes. But once it's fully pressurized, then that timer will start on a countdown. But as you can see, it's on. It's gonna start heating up. But the timer won't actually start going down until the Instant Pot's fully pressured. Once your timer is done, you're gonna go ahead and allow it to natural release for 30 minutes. Now, when I do soups, I like to just let it naturally release for just a little bit, so that way you don't get all that spit back when you release the valve. Then just go ahead and open it up, and we're gonna pull out our meat. But as you can see, it's really, really tender, and that bone came out really clean. I mean, I just grabbed the tip of it and look how clean that bone is. Once you have all your meat shredded up, go ahead and add in your 2 cans of hominy. Now, I did use a lot more ingredients for this because I was feeding more people. So in the recipe, I'll leave the exact measurements that you'll need for this recipe. But once you get your hominy in there, go ahead and add in your pork. And then you want to go ahead and add in 2 cups of chicken broth. Now to finalize everything, just go ahead and season with salt and pepper to taste. Place your Instant Pot on saute and let it come to temperature. You want to heat up that hominy and the chicken broth. And once it's all heated up, man, it's a fantastic meal. Go ahead and serve you up a bowl. Pozole is one of my favorite soups. I love eating it, and I love adding all the condiments. I love putting cabbage, radishes, onions, cilantro, chili flakes. Some of you guys suggested serrano chilies. Look, I don't care. With pork and the hominy, this is some good stuff. And I'm just salivating just, looking at this soup. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit of everything. Cheers, y'all. Such really, really rich flavor. That green salsa just really complements the pork, but the richness of that pork is just so, so good. If you're new to my channel, consider hitting the subscribe button. That way you can see future videos just like this. As always, I'll leave the link in the video description and in the comment section, so that way you can go to my website, cookingwithkirby.com, to get the full printable recipe. I have these recipes, they're really good, you should try them out. Now y'all be beautiful and take care. See if you like it. Compared to the red one. That usually makes the red one.
Did you put onion in it?
I won't give you the onion. The onion's on the side here. Take a bite.
I don't care.
Here, try it. What do you think, Jess?
Okay.
Well, I know you guys like pozole.
It's good.
Alright, now let's call our grandma so she can come and eat.